From the softball field on the campus of Darien High School, it's a Wednesday afternoon FCIAC clash as the Danbury Hatters are in town to take on the Darien Blue Wave. Hi everybody, Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network as we get you set for an exciting softball matchup between the Blue Wave and the Hatters again on this Wednesday afternoon. Both of these teams looking to make up some ground inside the FCIAC standings. Neither of them had the picture-perfect season, but they have a chance to turn it around against a good rival right here. Darien comes in 4-8 on the season, 4-4 in the conference. Danbury 5-7 on the year, 2-5 in the conference, and our managers will meet at home plate with our umpires. And again, this game will get a little bit of a late start to it. Danbury having some issues with the transportation, but they finally are able to get to Darien High School, and we should be just about underway here in a few moments against the Blue Wave, between the Blue Wave and the Hatters. I do want to tell you DAF Media is a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity softball contest. When we have a second here, we'll take you through the Danbury starting lineup in this contest here for head coach Mark Anderson. As you see it on your screen, batting first, the shortstop, Reagan Lawler. Julia Lopez manning first base, batting second. Chloe Trimadilis, she's going to be a big hitter to watch out for in the 3 spot. And then Maya Cefaloni, our pitcher, will be batting cleanup. Maddie Woods, Aubrey Mancuso, Kendra Rodriguez, Sophia Fenaroli, and Emily Mattis are the remaining players for this Danbury Hatters team. And Sky Kane will be our flex player in center field. But again, a Hatters team that has seen an up-and-down road so far this season. They come in 5-7, most recently losing to Norwalk on Monday in a game that the Hatters bats came to play. They just were not able to overcome the Bears. They fell 5-3, and they've lost their last 3 straight on the season. They fell to St. Joe's, they fell to Fairfield Ward, then to Norwalk on Monday. So looking to get back into the win column for the first time since April and here in the new month. As for Darien, they took the trip to Greenwich on Monday to take on the Cardinals. It was a game that Darien had an early lead on it, but the pesky Cardinals came all the way back and took down the Wave by the final of 6-3. And there's the Darien lineup as you see on your screen. The Wave are the home team, so they will bat second. Ofinger, Valji, Madeiros, Kisco, Fogno, Michelson, Donahue, Yarish, McCloskey, and Lindell manning the designated player, manning the second base and the flex position. So that's the starting lineup for Darien. And the Wave will now take the fields here as head coach Nick DeMeo rallies up his troops. Again, a game that was supposed to get started at about 4 o'clock, a little bit behind schedule, but the Wave trot out to the fields, and we're just about ready for some softball. And Darien, they will line up behind their junior pitcher, Malin Madeiros. And Madeiros, again, one of the solid pitchers on this Darien team. And she will look to pitch a good one for this Blue Wave squad. Again, the starting pitcher for Nick DeMeo's team, just a junior, but she's pitched 3 solid years already for Darien. And it's going to get interesting. Darien was ready to play this game at 4 o'clock, so they've been iced a little bit having to wait for Danbury to get here. So it's going to be interesting if that plays a factor into this game right here. But again, Madeiros will be our starting pitcher. And we'll take a look at the Darien defensive alignments. Here behind Madeiros, as you see on your screen, the battery, Averett, Fogno, and Madeiros. At first base, Kisco, Lindell at second, Valji at short, Ofinger at third. Then the outfield from left to right, Yorish, McCloskey, and Donahue rounding it out for the Darien Blue Wave in this contest against the Danbury Hatters. .56 degrees, mostly cloudy, but the sun has peeked through. Not that much wind out here. A perfect day for some varsity softball inside the FCIAC. Again, both of these teams looking to get their season back on track. As our first batter, Reagan Lawler will step in. And Madeiros with the first pitch. We are underway at 5:06 Eastern Standard Time, so an hour and a 6-minute delay. But we are finally underway from the DHS varsity softball fields. And Madeiros works ahead 0-1. Swing and a miss from Lawler, moves it to 2-0-2. Madeiros, she's been playing well as of late, was nominated for the Player of the Week in the FCIAC last week. She had 29 strikeouts, going 2-1 in her 3 starts. She also brings a good bat to this Darien team, but we'll have to wait to see that. Fly ball on the left side, and that will get foul onto the lacrosse fields. Count stays at 0-2, and that's where Mullen really makes her money here, her ability to work quick on hitters and get the first pitch strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Medeiros gets her sign from her catcher, Fogno. Line drive, that's in the outfield. Lawler will reach via the base hit. She takes the round but stays at first, and Regan Lawler starts off the Hatters offense with a bang. A single to lead off the inning. Stepping in is Julia Lopez, the first baseman. Runner on first, Lawler. Showing bunt, Lawler takes out for second. She steals it with ease. So the leadoff batter reaches second now is Lopez. The 1-0 pitch from Medeiros. Ground ball to the left side, fielded by the shortstop Valji. She comes on to first, grabbed by Kisco for the first out, although Lawler does move over to third, and Danbury's first run stands on third base. Chloe Tremondelis comes in, number 11 for this Hatters team. And Chloe has herself quite a good season inside the batter's box. A senior for Danbury. First pitch taken upstairs. As a freshman last year, she led Danbury with a .406 batting average. She had 2 home runs with 17 RBIs. And she also delivered one of the most clutch hits of the season last year for the Hatters, which was a walk-off against St. Joseph. And the Cadets usually one of the powerhouses, a line drive into the outfield. Tremondelis brings home Lawler, and the Hatters go up 1-0 in the first frame. The bus drag does not get to Danbury. They draw first blood in this first inning. An RBI single. Maya Cefaloni will come in. Cefaloni will be our pitcher, so our pitcher versus pitcher battle. Cefaloni pulls back on the bunt, taking off for second. Fogno fires down, and she's safe. A stolen base for Tremondelis. Valji was not able to put the tag on Tremondelis. That's a stolen base. This Danbury team very aggressive on the base paths under first-year head coach Mark Anderson. They've had 2 batters reach base. They've both taken off for second and reached successfully. Medeiros. Strike 1. A little behind it was Cefaloni. And some confusion here on where the on-deck batter has to be. The Danbury players are stationed all the way over by third base. They're going to send the on-deck batters inside. Nonetheless, Cefaloni settles back in. She'll have a 1-1 count. Medeiros will look to work back in this, trailing 1-0 in this first inning. And that one is fly back foul. There's the count to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Ball upstairs, 3-2, or 2-2 rather. And Medeiros looking to avoid the walk. She's already got Tremondelis standing on second base via the single and the stolen base. Ground ball, fielded by the first baseman Kisco. She'll take it herself to first and get the second out. Although Tremondelis moves over to third, and Danbury's got another runner on third base. Maddie Woods comes in the right fielder for Danbury. Looking to plate another run. First pitch up high. And it's always tough when you got to return to the dugout and hit in the bottom of the first, trailing 1-0 already. Especially when the offense hasn't even gotten a chance to face Cefaloni and the Hatters. This one out, flied into center field. McCloskey comes in on it. And McCloskey makes the catch for the third out. But not before Danbury finds themselves on the board. 1 run off 2 hits. The Hatters lead 1-0 after 1 frame. You're watching the DAF Media Network. We'll be right back. Back on the DAF Media Network, Danbury takes the field for their first inning defensively. They'll line up behind their pitcher, Maya Cefaloni, the senior, wearing the number 8 jersey. She'll be pitching for this Hatters team. She went 6 2/3 innings with 3 strikeouts in the win against Staples, and then the rest of the defensive alignment for the Hatters, as you see it on your screen. But Darien will get their first batter set in Izzy Ofinger. Darien looking to work back in this game, trailing 1-0. Ofinger swinging at the first pitch, right back to Cefaloni. She fires on the first, and 1 pitch, 1 out for the Danbury junior. Lauren Valji will come in. One away in the inning. Ball in the dirt, good block by the catcher, Fenarello. Fenaroli, rather. This one out lined into the right center gap. Valji takes the turn. She's heading for second. And Lauren Valji sliding into second with a double. A big hit by the Darien sophomore. And the Wave has a runner in scoring position with 1 away, and their pitcher, Malin Medeiros, coming up. Medeiros batted .666. Flies this one into left field. The left fielder, Mattis, comes over. She makes the catch. And again, on the 4th pitch, Darien has their second out. As Claire Kisco will step in. Kisco, the sophomore on Darien, back for her 2nd year for Nick DeMeo's varsity squad. Takes the ball just low. 1-0. Kisco settles back in. Swinging upstairs, moves it to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. This one lined off the glove of Cefaloni. Through the second baseman, Mancuso. Getting the round and scoring is Valji. And Darien ties us up 1-1. A single from Kisco. She advances to second on the throw, but an RBI single from Claire Kisco, and it's tied 1-1. Valji scored all the way from second on that. And now the senior captain, Ava Fogno, comes in, the sole senior on this Darien team. Fogno takes the first ball. A Darien team that is very heavy on the youth. They have 10 sophomores on the team, as well as 3 freshmen to go with a couple juniors, and Fogno, the sole senior on the squad. So head coach Nick DeMeo returning a lot of his talent for the future years, looking to get back to their winning ways. Not seen an FCIAC win since 2017. It's an FCIAC conference win as Faulkner takes the 0-2 pitch outside. Another 2 balls, 1 strike. Line drive! Caught by the right fielder, Matty Woods. Didn't have to move a bit, but Darien gets the equalizer. It's 1-1 after 1. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be an exciting one between Darien and Danbury. Aubrey Mancuso steps in. A sophomore playing second base for the Hatters. 1-1 our score. We are through 1. Medeiros looks to work better in this second inning. Danbury got started with a Reagan Lawler leadoff single. Lawler stole second and was driven home on a Tremendelis RBI single. Darien had a very similar sequence, but they got the 1 run off of it, so it's 1-1 after 1, and it's a brand new ball game with 6 innings to play. Medeiros, off speed outside. One ball, 1 strike. Swinging on it was Mancuso. Thinking about it, and she went around a little too much. And it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mala Medeiros looking to pick up her first K of the contest. The 1-2 deal. Strike 3, looking. Aubrey Mancuso set down, and that's how Medeiros gets her first out in the second inning. One down in the second inning. Kendra Rodriguez comes in. Rodriguez, the number 16 for Danbury. First pitch, fouls it back. Rodriguez settles back in, the designated player for Danbury. Ball just outside. Medeiros was looking for that outside corner, doesn't get it. Faulkner tried putting the frame on it. A lot of 1s. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-1 our score. Ball 2 upstairs. Medeiros, she's been keeping Darien in a lot of games this year on the defensive end. Tries to give way to the bats. And the ball there just low. Medeiros thought she had the corner. Instead, it now moves it to 3 balls and 1 strike. Medeiros, a junior captain on Darien. So Fogno and Medeiros, the 2 captains for Darien. 3-1 deal. Strike. That's always good to get your battery captains. It just builds the chemistry between them and helps with the coordination on these pitches, especially when you can call them and then see them from a catcher and pitcher's point of view. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The full count deal. High fly ball, pop fly coming over is Yarish. And Nicole Yarish makes the grab. There's 2 gone in the second. Two away, and Sophie Fenaroli comes in. Fenaroli, the catcher for the Hatters. Medeiros has already worked 2 outs in this top of the second. First pitch, lines it on the right side. And that's caught. A diving grab by Caitlin Donahue. And Darien sets down the Hatters 1-2-3. The Wave comes to bat when we return on the DAF Media Network. Mia Michelson, Caitlin Donahue, Nicole Yardish, the 2 up for Darien. As they face a good pitcher in Maya Cefaloni. Cefaloni did surrender 2 hits and 1 run in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Cefaloni. A little behind it is Michelson. Mia Michelson, one of the 3 freshmen on this Darien team, as well as Izzy Ofinger and Hazelton. All 3 of them have seen some playing time for Nick DeMayo's team. Ground ball right back to the pitcher, Cefaloni. She knocks it down, fires on to first, grabbed by Lopez, and there's 1 gone in this second inning. And Cefaloni's working quick out there. Definitely under 15 pitches thus far, and she's facing her 7th batter of the contest, Caitlin Donahue. Donahue, a returning varsity player for Darien, the junior. One of only 3 juniors on Darien. As well as Lindell and Medeiros. So again, the future is looking bright for Nick DeMayo and this Darien softball team. Only losing 1 player to graduation, the rest presumably coming back. And a little dribbler. That will roll foul. Nice throw from Trimidelis, just a foul ball. Donahue digs back in after the foul ball. Cefaloni, this one fouled. Once again, past the backstop. One ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball on the right side. Coming over is Woods. And it is grabbed. Danbury with the pop fly catch. There's 2 gone. Nicole Yarish looking to get the rally started for Darien. Yarish playing left field for the Wave. Sophomore back for her 2nd year on this Darien team. Takes ball 1 outside. Cefaloni gets the sign from her catcher, Fenaroli. Strike at the knees, 1-1. This one fouled just off the end of the bat of Yarish. Moves it to 1-2. These teams so far playing a very similar game. They both scored 1 run off 2 hits in the first inning. And the second inning, ball in the dirt. The first 5 batters have been retired. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball and foul. Oh, look at that. We got a souvenir. I think they would have let us keep it at least. Probably could get a nice Nick DeMeo autograph of that, sell it somewhere. 2-2 the count. Strike 3 at the knees. Cefaloni sits down. Yarish sets down Darien. 1-2-3. And the Hatters come up to bat in the top of the third when we return.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
Emily Mattis to get us started in this top of the third, the 9-hole hitter for the Hatters. The only hitter yet to come to the plate to face Medeiros. Medeiros in left field for the Hatters. The first pitch from Medeiros in the third. That's a ball upstairs, taken for first pitch of the at-bats. Again, these teams have played identically so far through the first 2 frames. One of these teams going to look to break free and try to take advantage of the other. Called strike at the letters. Medeiros uses all parts of the strike zone, tries to find the corners and exploit them. That time finding the upper right corner and drilling it for the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Medeiros with the deal. Foul back. And Mattis just got a piece of it. That's all you're looking to do here with the 1-1 count. Just get a piece of it, see the pitch from Medeiros, and now settle in with the 1-2 counts. This is now where you look to do damage on the Darien Jr. pitcher. 1-2. Left upstairs. The off speed was looking for a chase. Doesn't get it. Both baseball and softball home for Darien today. Darien baseball team was supposed to head up to Danbury, although field conditions in the Hat City forced it as a fly ball. A right fielder, Donahue, comes over. She lets it drop between Donahue and Lindell, and Mattis has a single before the lineup flips over to the big hitters of Lawler, Lopez, and Trimidelis. But as I was saying, the rain hit the Hat City very hard over the past couple days. They were not able to play that game at Danbury High School, so Darien came in, said we would host the game, and that's where they're playing the baseball game, at the Varsity Baseball Field, even though Danbury is technically the home team in that contest. So the Hatters are home in that one, but they're still playing it at the DHS Baseball Fields. Going to be interesting how they schedule that going forward next year, if they go back to Darien or if they go to Danbury. First pitch was a ball on the leadoff hitter, Lawler. A little in front of it off the dugout. First batter of the inning reached via the single, Danbury's 3rd hit of the contest. Medeiros, the even count. Off speed for a ball. 2-1. Lawler sets back in. Medeiros looking to get back ahead. Foul back. A good pitch, and Lawler fooled by the off speed. Two balls, two strikes. Medeiros with the fire. And a little ahead of it was Lawler. She brought the power to it, just a little in front of it, all the way out to the lacrosse field. We'll track it down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3. Fogno pops right up, looking to keep Mattis on first. And you're looking to avoid the walk right here. 3 balls, 2 strike. The count moves full on the Hatter leadoff hitter. Another foul from Lawler. Keeps the count full. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pitch number 7 in the at-bats. Will someone give in? Ball 4. Lawler works the walk after the long battle, and Danbury is the first 2 batters on in this 3rd inning. Julia Lopez comes in. Runners on first and second, still no gone in this 3rd inning. Lopez shows bunt, pulls back, called strike 1. Fogno fires on to 3rd, and she's caught stealing. Mattis goes down, and Danbury tried the squeeze play to no avail, and there's 1 gone. Good fire from Fogno to get the cat stealing. And Mattis was caught in a no-man's land out there. It was by the shortstop. Until eventually Fogno fired on to 3rd, and Ofinger put the tag on Mattis. Fly ball, Fogno. That one's out. Oh, 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Lopez digs back in. Lawler on second. Medeiros takes the ball. Was looking to get that outside corner. She's been painting it perfectly thus far. One, 2. Strike 3, swinging. Lopez goes down with the K. Medeiros has her second, and there's 2 gone in the 3rd. Chloe Tremendelis coming back in. She has the 1 RBI for Danbury, a single back in the 1st inning. Again, the big swinging 3rd baseman for the Hatters. Had 2 homers in the loss against New Milford a couple games ago, and she flies one into center. McCloskey comes in, and Callie McCloskey fields it for the 3rd outs. Danbury had the first 2 on, unable to score. Darien with the hold. It's still 1-1 on the DAF Media Network. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Wave here in this bottom of the 3rd. Danbury, they got the first 2 runners on in the top half. Were unable to score them. Good hold by the Wave to move it to 1-1 still. Callie McCluskey comes in. McCluskey, the sophomore outfielder, gives it the running attempt, and a strike is called. Actually, a ball, rather. Wasn't a strike call. It was just a point outside, rather. 1-0. Again, another running attempt. And again, she's just got to make contact with it inside the batter's box. And as a lefty, it's a huge advantage when you can take those couple extra steps and the momentum with you to first base. Darien's had a long history of that 9-hole hitter giving it that running up approach. Going all the way back to Wadley a couple of years ago, playing for Darien. I believe graduating last year. Foul ball. Two. Ball outside, moves it full. Full count on McCluskey. Looking to get on for the leadoff hitter. Fly ball. Little blooper will drop over Tremondelis' head. And Callie McCluskey comes through in the 9th spot. Darien's got the leadoff hitter in the 3rd inning on for the big bat of Izzy O'Finger. O'Finger takes the first one in the dirt. Second pitch from Cefaloni. Ground ball, fielded by Tremondelis. Throws on to first, and she's got the out. A big-time play by Tremondelis. She only gets one as McCluskey moves over to second. So 1 down for Lauren Valji. She doubled back in the first inning and came around to score Darien's lone run. Called strike on the outside corner. You got to battle back here after going down 0-1. That's what Valji will look to do. Nice block by Finelli, and Veneroli, the senior captain on this Hatters team, returning varsity player. 1 ball, 1 strike on Valji. Lines this one, cut by the 3rd baseman, Tremondelis. Chloe Tremondelis makes the out on it. And now Malin Madero steps in with the runner on second base. The Wave were able to get the leadoff hitter abroad, just not able to bring him home just yet. Fly ball into center. Chasing this back is the outfielder, and not able to make the catch is Kane. Medeiros rounds second. She'll have a stand-up double, and Darien has taken the lead with a stand-up double from Malin Medeiros. Kane and Woods tracked it to the warning track. Kane put the glove up, was unable to come away with it. And a double for Medeiros, as now Darien will bring in the special pinch runner, Allie Myers. Myers, a runner on Darien's indoor track and field team. They won the FCIAC East this winter. So it makes sense why she's the pinch runner. She's got the speed, the blooper. And that's dropping. Woods not able to get there. Rounding third and scoring is Myers to throw at second. And she's safe. A double from Claire Kisco. And the Wave go up 3-1. Again, that right side causing some havoc for the Hatters as Claire Kisco delivers another RBI. Ava Fogno comes in. 2 runs already home in the inning. Fogno looking to break this game open. And again, that's the heart of Darien's order contributing. Medeiros, the 3-hole hitter with the double. Kisco, the 4-hole hitter with the double. Ball in the dirt, good block from Finneroli. Fogno thought about it, but took it outside, just skimmed the corner. And Cefaloni's a pitcher that will give you a quality start. She's pitched 6 or more innings in most of her starts, regardless of the score. So she gives you the stamina out there, and that's what head coach Mark Anderson will be looking for. Although you would like to see the bats come alive in the top half of the frames and try to get some runs back for their pitcher. And Fogno in front of that one, fouling it back. Count stays at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fogno lines this one into the gap. That's going to drop. And Darien will pick up another. Fogno thought about it, stays at first, but the senior captain delivers an RBI, and it's 4-1 Wave. Three straight batters with RBIs. And now Hadley Hazelton will come over to pinch run. Hazelton, the third freshman on Darien. Now Mia Michelson comes up to bat in this third inning. Two gone in the inning, but not before Darien makes it 4-1. Fly ball. On the left side, the shortstop Lawler comes over to make the grab, but not before Darien breaks this game wide open. It's 4-1 Wave after 3. And Danbury comes up looking for a response when we return on the DAF Media Network.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
The heart of the Danbury order due up 4-5-6. Maya Cefaloni looking to add to her cause on the mound. After giving up the crooked number in the bottom of the third, Cefaloni takes the first pitch upstairs. A Danbury team that had a record-setting year last year. 19-1 in the regular season. Went all the way to the FCIAC championship before they fell to Fairfield Ludlow. 2-0, and then they earned the top seed in the Class Double-L division. Went all the way to the state championship. Pop fly calling off her infield is Kisco, and she makes the grab for the first out. But again, a magical year for this Hatters team. They made a nice run all the way to UConn. Or actually, this year it's at UConn. Made all the run last year to the state semifinals before they fell to the Rams of Bristol Central by the final of 4-1. And that was a Hatters team that had a lot of senior-heavy talent on it, graduating the likes of Hallie Pucci, Ashley Rugen, Haley Bussy, Kaylee Drago, Cassandra Pinho. A lot of players that graduated for Danbury that really contributed to this Hatters team, as well as the loss of their head coach, Erica Carboni. Mark Anderson takes over for his first year atop the Hatters, a team that is usually very storied in the FCIAC. Again, as for Darien, they are coming off a 9-11 season last year. Did not qualify for the FCIAC playoffs. Did for the CIAC playoffs, but fell to Fairfield Ludlow in the first round by the final of 14-0. And the Falcons have really had a lot of the FCIAC team's numbers over the recent years. A good program brewing in Fairfield, Connecticut. They've knocked Darien out the last 2 years in playoffs. 2021, they knocked them out of the FCIAC and state playoffs. So that's definitely a team Darien wants to beat. 2-1 count on Woods. Ball 3. And Darien did play those pesky Falcons earlier this year, and they fell to Fairfield Ludlow by the final of 18-0 at home. One of Darien's 4 home games they've seen so far this year. Crazy to see a team like Darien that has played 8 home games thus far, or 8 road games and only 4 home games. Called strike at the belts. Again, the way that it works, baseball and softball play the home and a home. They play the same teams. However, baseball goes one place and softball goes the other place. So the home and home, if you will. And the Darien baseball team has only played 4 road games. And it's been the opposite story for the Wave softball team. Ground ball to shortstop, Valji. She comes over to her left, throws it on to first, and Kisco grabs it for 2 gone in the 4th. Lauren Valji taking over that shortstop position quite perfectly, taking it over from the likes of Brooke Romano the last couple seasons. And there's now 2 away for Aubrey Mancuso, the Hatters' second baseman. First pitch just low on Mancuso. Second pitch. Called strike. As I mentioned, the 5th home game for Darien today. This starts a 3-game home stretch for Nick DeMayo's team. They'll take on St. Joseph on Friday, then New Canaan next Monday. That game against New Canaan can be seen on the DAF Media Network. Always an arch rivalry between the Wave and the Rams, and they will renew out on the softball diamond a week from, actually not even a week from, a couple days next Monday. But again, 5 out of their remaining 7 games are at home this season. So Nick DeMayo won't have to leave the friendly confines of the DHS Softball Diamonds. 3-1. Let's talk about one of the most beautiful places to play softball in the FCIAC. Darien High School is easily up there. This facility that Nick DeMayo has built is truly spectacular here. Keeps it in picture-perfect condition year-round, and it's a great place for the varsity softball team to play at for Darien High School. That one on a rope foul into the parking lot. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Mancuso. Hatters looking to get back in this game as they trail 4-1 after 3. But again, there's still a lot of time left. Foul ball. Didn't come back to our broadcast location. So Mancuso will see another from Medeiros. Medeiros looking to finish the at-bat strong. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Ball 4. So Mancuso reaches for her first time. And now Kendra Rodriguez comes back in. Rodriguez flew out to the left fielder Yarish in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 in this contest. Medeiros looking for the first pitch strike. She comes, sets, and delivers. Ball just up. One-0. Called strike. Good pitch from Medeiros to work back to the at-bats. Moves at 1-1. Now 2-1. Good hitter in Rodriguez up to bat. And that one goes all the way to the backstop. Mancuso will take second with ease. And that now moves it to a 3-1 count. A wild pitch against Medeiros. 3 balls, 1 strike. Medeiros looking to avoid a second straight walk. Ball 4. And Rodriguez will reach via the walk. First and second now for Sophie Fenaroli, the catcher. Fenaroli 0 for 1 in the cat test. Went down via the line out to Donahue, in which a play that Caitlin Donahue laid out for it made a spectacular grab for Darien, ending the second inning. You love to see the dedication from your outfielders. All right, ball. And Medeiros starting to get out of her rhythm out there. She pitched so well for the first 3 innings and starting to calm down a little bit, throw a couple more balls, and she's just got to now get back into her groove. 1-0. Ball 2. And these are the batters you have to take advantage of because Danbury has shown they have a lethal top 3 combo, Lawler, Lopez, Tremendelis. So you try to avoid those hitters, and you want to focus on the bottom a part of the lineup, and these are the batters you got to attack. Mancuso, Rodriguez, Fenaroli. Medeiros is looking to get a strike, and ball 3 on Sophia Fenaroli. You have to assume head coach Mark Anderson, coaching third, is giving his catcher the take sign, especially with the 9-hole hitter and Mattis due on deck. Reach via the single. Good bat to the second leadoff hitter. Ball 4. Fenaroli works the 4-pitch walk. And now Nick DeMeo will come out to take his first mound visit and talk to his pitcher. And Nick DeMeo, he's going out there telling his pitcher just to calm down, settle down, get back into your groove. Medeiros was dominating this Hatters lineup for the first 3 innings, and it's just a couple walks. It's not the end of the world. Bases loaded. Mattis is the batter you need to face now. This is the batter. It just takes 3 pitches, 1 out by the outfields, and then you're out of this inning, and you can completely forget about them. So you just need to put them behind you, focus on the batter at hand, because you can't start walking batters and then flip the lineup up with bases loaded. And the trouble's finding the strike zone. So Nick DeMeo comes out. We'll conference with his pitcher. Good time to tell you about our DAF Media production crew on this Wednesday afternoon. James Foresta, Rose McCarthy, and our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrews, stepping in to run some graphics. I'll bring you the sights and sounds in this one. Darien High School student volunteers working for the DAF Media Network. Braden Schenk with you. So glad you can be with us on this Wednesday afternoon. DAF, the joint venture of, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Mattis settles back in. 2 outs in the inning. Bases loaded. Takes strike 1. Mancuso on third. Rodriguez on second. Fenaroli on first. Force on all bases for Darien. And Medeiros needs to just throw the strikes, which he did on the first pitch. Ball and Fogno coming home on it. Retrieving back to third. And caught into no man's land. And she's out. Making the tag is the third baseman, Ofinger, laying out for it. And Danbury leaves the bases stranded as they come up empty-handed. It's still 4-1 Darien. Bottom of the 4th about to ensue after a great defensive stay for Darien. Medeiros found herself in a little bit of a jam, 3 walks, although the third baseman Ofinger came up clutch for Darien. They caught the runner in no man's land, tagged her out trying to steal home. And again, just a great defensive play by Darien to get the out at third, chase the runner back, and it really looked like Mancuso had no clue what she was doing out there. Was kind of in no man's land, tried to come home, but Darien was there, and that's a hit by pitch for Donahue, and that's how Darien will get the first runner aboard in the bottom of the 4th. Nicole Yarish steps in. Yarish has a runner on first, looking to add some more. Shows bunt and goes around. Yarish pulls back the bunt on that one. You can tell head coach Nick DeMay was trying to get that sack bunt down. One. Cefaloni settles back in the circle. And Yarish behind that one, moving it to 1-2. Went down looking in her first at-bat in the second. Got to assume she's going to go down at least swinging in this at-bat, if not make contact and advance the runner, Donahue. Ball up high. Two balls, 2 strikes. Yarish puts it in play. The second baseman, Mancuso, on the ground, trying to flick it to Lawler, not able to get there, and Donahue reaches safely. Official award is an error against Mancuso, or unofficial. Don't really know how official our word is on it. McCloskey shows bunt and just back. And again, that was a play that all Mancuso had to do was get it to her shortstop Lawler and get at least 1 out of it. But instead, they don't get any, and it's now first and second for the Wave. McCloskey trots back in after the foul ball. Shows bunt once again, lays this one down. The pitcher Cefaloni fires on to first, and they get 1 on it, but the sack bunt works to perfection as Ofinger comes up with 2 ducks on the pond. One down, Ofinger coming in. 0 for 2 thus far. 2 groundouts, both to the left side. Take strike 1. Ofinger, a freshman, making a name for herself thus far. Thought about it, takes ball outside. Ofinger had 3 hits, including a home run in the win against Staples last week. A game that Darien went to Staples High and took down the Wreckers by the final of 8-2. Takes strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ofinger flies this one. It is high, it is far. Kiss it goodbye. Izzy Ofinger with the round tripper. And Darien is running away with this one. A 3-run shot from the Darien freshman, and it's now 7-1 Wave. The air horn sounds, and Danbury will now conduct the mound visit after a moonshot from the leadoff hitter. Meg Sedgwick coming over to talk to the Danbury pitcher, Maya Cefaloni. Again, the same message here. You need to put that in your rearview mirror. 7 runs in 4 innings is a lot for Danbury to come back from, but it's possible. They still have 3 more at-bats in the contest. But again, they have to now focus on avoiding the mercy here because it is 10 after 5. So if Darien can get some more runs together with the heart of their order, Valji, Medeiros, and Kisco, and Fogno coming up. Medeiros, Kisco, and Fogno had RBIs in the 3rd inning. En route to Darien's 3-run inning. That's a ball. Valji takes the second ball down low. Lauren, a basketball player for Darien in the winter, playing for head coach Alyssa Valente's Blue Wave. Now taking her talents to Nick DeMayo's softball squad, and that moves it to 3-0 quickly. So Valji ahead in the count. Going to be interesting if Nick DeMayo gives her the green light or not. Takes a strike, and that's a free pitch for Cefaloni. And Darien has a lead. They can play more comfortably out there. They don't have to be as tense, and they can make a couple errors here and there. They're going to try to avoid them, of course, but you're fine making them as Valji works the walk on 5 pitches. As Malin Madero steps back in, had an RBI double last inning. Darien's now scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings. Madero's looking to add to her counts. Takes the first strike. Thought about it, but you always want to see that first one. Get it down. Second pitch. That's one in the dirt. Good block by Fenaroli. It was a good swing by Ofinger in the leadoff spot. A nice level swing. Lined it out to the right center gap. And just over the fence. And they make all the difference, not only on the scoreboard, but in the momentum as well of that dugout. Gets the whole team fired up. Medeiros takes ball 3 in the dirt. 3-1 for the Darien junior pitcher. Kisco stands on deck. She's 2 for 2 in the contest. Ball number 4, and Medeiros reaches via the walk. Special pinch runner coming for the pitcher, as it will be number 4, Allie Myers, coming back in a pinch run on the courtesy runner. Myers, the sophomore, to pinch run in the place of Valji. In place of Medeiros, my apologies. Valji still stands on second. Ball just low on it. Kisco 2 for 2 on the day. Had a single back in the first inning, an RBI single, then an RBI double in the third inning. So 2 for 2 and 2 RBIs to her name thus far. Flies this one on the right side. Coming over is Woods. Woods makes the catch for the second out, and a bullet throw to Tremondelis. Then that's the second out. Two down for the catcher, Ava Fogno. Fogno had an RBI single in her last at-bat in the third. And you look at this Darien rally so far, only 1 hit to their name. And that was the home run from Ofinger. They've worked their way to 2 walks, a hit by pitch, an error on the second baseman, a sac bunt. A couple other things to fill out your bingo card. And Fogno fouls that one off. On deck stands Michelson, the only batter that hasn't got up to bat in this 4th inning. 8th batter for Darien in the inning. Ava Fogno up to the dish. Fogno grounds this one. It's into the outfield. Getting the round. The play at the plate, not in time. Valji scores, and over to third, and advancing is Myers. Darien's got their 8th run. Fogno comes through with another RBI hit. Valji scored all the way from seconds. Medeiros advanced to third. Mia Michelson comes in, the pinch runner, and Hadley Hazelton steps back in at first. 8-1, Darien leads Danbury. Called strike inside. Darien's officially batted around in the 4th. Michelson completing it with the 9th hitter up. Designated player. An inning for Danbury to forget, for sure. Ground ball, shortstop. Lawler comes over. On to first. And Lopez ends the terror of an inning. And not before Darien puts up 4 runs thanks to an Izzy Ofinger 3-run bomb. It's 8-1 Darien after 4. Mattis will trot back in. She started her at-bat against Medeiros in the fourth, but was left stranded when Mancuso was thrown out trying to advance home on the wild pitch. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Hatters. Ball in the dirt. Wagner unable to scoop it. Definitely one of the cooler mascots in the FCIAC, the Danbury Hatters. Again, the significance dating back all the way to the Revolutionary War when Danbury, Connecticut was the lead manufacturer in top hats in the country. Thus, all these years later, the nickname stuck, the Mad Hatters and Danbury Hatters. For all you wondering at home. Called strike. Again, it's always cool to see these mascots, even the Blue Wave that has significance to the town compared to some of the standard ones you see all over the state, the Rams, the Wildcats, all these other animals that you think, what's the significance to it? But it's always good to see two very special ones and a fly ball in the center. McCloskey comes over. She fields the fly ball, and there's one away in this fifth inning. Always important to get that first out, and that's what Medeiros does. Now Reagan Lawler comes back in, 1 for 1 with a single back in the first, reached via the walk in the third. Now Danbury needs to find a way to keep their head in this game. They came out firing in this game, scored a run with a leadoff single from Lawler, and then Trimidelis in the 3-spot, bringing Lawler home for the RBI. Second pitch, a ball, 2-0. Again, Darien's looking to get hot here coming down the stretch of the season. A team that is tied for the 8th and final playoff spot in the FCIAC with a couple other teams at 4-4 in the conference. So the Wave has some big games coming up. New Canaan, someone they're tied with in the 8th spot, and a big rivalry game next Monday. Again, the Rams and Wave. That game will be seen on the DAF Media Network. That's the big thing for Darien as they welcome in St. Joe's on Friday. As the Cadets are going to come out firing. St. Joe's 9-4 in the season, not as strong as the Cadets usually are, but a team that is historically one of the powerhouses in the Nutmeg State when it comes to softball. But a lot of winnable games down the stretch for Darien. The loss to Greenwich did hurt them on Monday, however. They had a lead, and they lost to a team who second to last in the conference. Those are games that you would like to capitalize on as they walk to Lawler. But again, it's a long season. They play, I believe, 16 games. 20 games, rather, and even 20. That makes sense. And normally you got to be above 500 to make the FCIAC tournament. And luckily for Darien, they find themselves with a hard out-of-conference schedule, but the in-conference schedule, they've been playing well so far, staying afloat at 500 currently. And committing on it is Lopez as she goes around for the first strike. 4-4 in the conference, not terrible. And Darien, they need to now work down the stretch, like I said. Danbury's a game they're starting with to try to flip the tables here and get going in the conference. And if you're just joining us, Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. Going for second and stealing it successfully is Reagan Lawler. There's a reason that she is the leadoff hitter because of that speed, and she has her second stolen bag. And for those of you wondering, we did not get started at 4 o'clock, so this isn't a 2-hour game. Instead, 5:06 was our first pitch time. Ball in the dirt, so a little over an hour, and we're here in the top of the 5th. Foul tip, and that moves it to 0-2. One, two. Lawler on second. Lopez digs into the right-handed batter's box. Half swing on it, and it's a blooper over Lindell's head. Lawler getting the wave home. The throw to the plate, not in time, cut off by Medeiros, and Julia Lopez with the RBI single, and Danbury gets one right back. And there's not much you can do on that if you're Darien. Lopez, kind of the half swing on it, made contact, wasn't even aware of it. The line drive just blooped over Lindell's head into right field. But it's a RBI single for Lopez, and Danbury will take it. It's now 8-2. Ball upstairs. Tremondelis has the power to get any rally going for Danbury. Tremondelis, the sophomore on the Hatters. With some authority, fouls it off to the left side. And she's going to really be looking to build this program here in the next couple of years. Just a sophomore, presumably 2 more years in this Hatters team. Looking to try to get them back to an FCIAC or state championship as the Hatters still chase their first piece of championship hardware. Last year was the second time that they were the FCIAC runner-ups, first coming all the way back in 1994. But they've never really been able to overcome the big hump of winning a championship. They've never won an FCIAC or state title in softball. But you never know under the Mark Anderson era. That is starting this season. A line drive on a rope, caught by Yarish. Nicole Yarish making a big grab, firing it in and holding the runner off first. A big grab by the Darien sophomore left fielder. And you can see Darien's got some smiles on their faces. They're playing well out there. But they have a lot of game left that they've got to hold this lead. A nice grab by Yarish. High fly ball on the right side. Lindell calls off the infield. And Lindell makes the catch. Darien gets out of the 5th inning, but they do surrender 1 run. Controlling the 8-2 lead after 4.5. You're watching the DAF Media Network. We'll be right back. Donahue, Yarish, and McCloskey, the duo up. First pitch in the dirt from Cefaloni. Hatters got 1 back in the top of the frame, but Darien still leads by 6. And again, they've scored 7 runs in the last 2 frames. Donahue's swinging up for strike 1, or strike 2. Darien batted around in the 4th inning. All 9 hitters came up to the bat, up to bat. And again, they only recorded 2 hits in the inning. The home run from Ofinger. This one now flying. The second baseman, Mancuso, comes over and makes the grab for the first out. Yarish coming up after making a big grab in left field for Darien. Looking to get some magic in the bottom half of this Darien order. Chokes up on the bat. First pitch. Fouling it back. Shows bunt and drops it back. A2 our score. Yarish fends that one off for the ball. 1-2. Called strike 3. Cefaloni settles down and gets the strikeout for the second out in this 5th inning. As now Holly McCloskey comes back in. Callie McCloskey takes the first ball. Callie, a returning varsity player for this Darien team. The sophomore chops this one to the shortstop. Lawler fires over to first, and Lopez makes the grab for the third out. So Danbury settles down, sits down the wave 1, 2, 3. Sixth inning coming up next on the DAF Media Network.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
Top of the sixth coming up. 8-2, Darien leads Danbury. Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on this Wednesday afternoon from the beautiful Darien High School Varsity Softball Fields. First pitch, fouled back. And somebody's walking away with a souvenir. Woods, Mancuso, Rodriguez, the due up. All starts with Maddie Woods. She's 0 for 2 in the contest. A fly out in the first and a ground out in the fourth. Takes the ball just low. Madeiros looking once again on that strike for the strike at the knees. One ball, one strike. Bouncing it. Nice stop by Fogno behind the dish. Again, a game that both offenses got going early. 1-1 after the first, and then settled down in the second before Darien started to accelerate in this game. 3 runs in the third, 4 in the fourth. And then Danbury got one back in the top of the fifth. A lot of scoring from the DHS softball fields. Ground ball, little dribbler, fielded by Ofinger on third. Comes over to first, and staying on the bag is Kisco for the out. One away in the top of the sixth. As now Aubrey Mancuso comes back in. Called strike. Danbury only 4 hits in the contest. They had 2 in the opening frame. 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. So they've only seemed to get hits in the odd number innings. I'm going to change that as Mancuso, who takes ball 1. Mancuso 0 for 1 in the day. Struck out in the second. Third pitch, and that one is fouled. It's into the parking lot. One ball, 2 strikes. Madeiros looking to sit down Mancuso. Fly ball in the center. McCloskey has it. She makes the grab. And there is 2 away in the sixth. Kendra Rodriguez coming back in. Good grab by McCloskey in center. 2 away, Rodriguez. 0 for 1 in the contest. Called strike. Medeiros is really dealing out there. Has sat down the last 4 Danbury batters. In front of it is Rodriguez. That one fouled back. Heads up. Cross practice just starting behind us. This guy gonna throw it back with his lacrosse stick? Oh, wow. I would have lost that bet. Throws it all the way back, one of the coaches. 0-2 the count for Medeiros. Fly ball, it is high. It is far. Yaris chasing it, and she will watch. Kiss it goodbye, Kendra Rodriguez with the home run. And the Danbury Hatters have some life in them. A solid contact and a bomb from Kendra Rodriguez is how Danbury gets their 3rd run in the contest. And that now looks to spark some energy in this Danbury lineup. Now Medeiros will need to settle back in, throw that one out the window. Not the end of the world. You still have yourselves a 5-run lead thanks to a big day from your offense. And now you got to focus on the catcher, Sophia Fenaroli. Always special to hit one out of the park, and that is exactly what Rodriguez does. A Danbury team that's hit many home runs this season. Don't know the exact number, but it feels like every game they're hitting a home run or 2, or maybe even 3 in a game. So a team that's definitely accustomed to the long ball. Lined. That's in the outfield. Fenaroli reaches first, lines it past the glove of Lindell. That one thrown to the left side. But a single from Fenaroli. Danbury's 6th hit right there. Now Emily Modis coming back in. 1 for 2 in the ball game. Had a single back in the 3rd. And again, that's what Danbury's looking for. They're not out of this game, although it's going to be a matter if it's too little too late, as there's a fly ball. Lindell chases it back, and the second baseman, Lindell, fields it. Danbury gets one back thanks to the bat of Kendra Rodriguez. It's 8-3, still in favor of the Wave. You're watching the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
(8-3), Darien leads Danbury. Wave coming up to bat with the top of their order. That one skips in. Ofinger, Valji, Medeiros, the due up. 1-2-3 in this 6th inning. And another one bouncing in. Cefaloni just not able to get the release point on those first 2 pitches. Skipping it to the plate. Looking to change fortunes. Ofinger flies this one. The center fielder, Kane, comes over, and Sky Kane fields the fly ball. There's one gone. Lauren Valji stepping in. Valji 1 for 2 in the contest. Had a walk back in the 4th and came around to score thanks to the Ofinger home run. Grounder right up the middle. Stopped by the shortstop Lawler from her knees. Not in time, as Valji will reach first via the hit. Would have been a tough play from from Lawler. And now Mullen Medeiros comes up. 1 for 2 as well. The pitcher for Darien pitching magnificently inside the circle. Fouls this one. Little in front of it. I don't think the lacrosse practice thought there would be a softball game still going when they came in here. Game that was scheduled to start at 4 o'clock. Medeiros, the fly ball into right field. It is high off the fence. Volge, she gets the round. Volge heading for home. She's safe. Lauren Volge scoring all the way from first, and Darien adds another on the scoreboard. Medeiros missed a homer by a matter of inches. Hit it off the fence. Did reach second via the double. And now Claire Kisco comes up with a runner on second and 1 away. But first, the pinch runner, Allie Myers, comes back in. A speed threat for the Wave. 9-3, Darien now leads. First pitch, line drive in the left. Modest makes the catch. Fires over to second. There's no call. I'm going to say she was safe on it. Didn't see a call by either one of our umpires. Nonetheless, a fly out or a line out. Ava Fogno due up. And Fogno now will trot in. Two gone. Fogno flies this one. It is high. Cut by Woods in rights. A good swing from Fogno. Darien adds 1 thanks to the Medeiros RBI double. The Wave come to close this game out in the top of the 7th. We'll see if they can do that on the DAF Media Network. (9-3). Darien leads Danbury. 3 outs away from win number 5 on the season. But there's 3 long outs that Darien has to get as they face the top of the Hatters lineup. Reagan Lawler coming up. Has walked in her last 2 at-bats. Again, a speed threat for the Hatters. Luckily for the Wave, the bats came to play today. 10 hits as they put up 9 runs. So they have a little bit of a cushion. And Medeiros fires the first one in. That's always the thing, is when you are up by 1 or 2 runs heading into the top of the 7th, you know no lead is safe. Although up by 6, you have some room to play out here if you give up a run or 2 to leave Medeiros in there, let her do her thing. Although the Wave's going to be looking for the 1-2-3 inning. That one's up high off the backstop. As for Danbury, they're road ahead. They will start a 3-game home stretch after this, welcoming the Senators of Brian McMahon tomorrow, going to Greenwich, or hosting Greenwich on Monday, and then hosting Wilton next week. All back at the Danbury High School softball stadium. A Hatters team that's been very solid on the road this year, 4-3, looking to avoid their 4th loss on the road. A team that has struggled at home this year, 1-4 in their home contest. You do not like to see that from a team, especially playing 4 more home games on the season. 3-1 on the leadoff hitter, Lawler. You would think when you play in the friendly confines of your own stadium, especially a place like Danbury, you got to take Route 7 to get up there, a long bus trip for some of these teams. You'd be able to capitalize and take them down, but Danbury struggled there. You look at it, the loss to Trumbull, loss to Ludlow, loss to New Milford, loss to Norwalk, all at home. Hatters have lost their last 3, looking to avoid a 4th straight loss. Especially, again, a team like the Hatters who sits in 4th to last place in the FCIAC. 2 games out of the FCIAC standings, so need to make up some ground, and they need to fast. 3-2. Medeiros comes set and delivers. Foul ball. Line drive on a rope, just foul. And this is a game that head coach Nick DeMeo is going to like to see out of his Darien Blue Wave, a game that they've played strong from the very first inning and has not looked back on. Something that this team desperately needed here, especially after the loss against Greenwich on Monday. A good turnaround here heading into the back half of their season. Ball 4. Just outside on Lawler as Julia Lopez comes in. Leadoff batter reaches first via the walk. Medeiros fires the strike in there. And again, that's the only thing Darien cares about right now is the batter at the plate. You can give up Lawler on first and still have a pretty big lead in this game. 9-3 our score so far. And Darien just needs 3 outs to close out the Hatters. Ball in the dirt. Lawler takes a big secondary. One ball, 1 strike on the Danbury sophomore. Lawler takes seconds. Lawler, she hit 2 home runs in the loss to Norwalk on Monday, and then she brings the speed as she steals her 3rd base of the contest. Again, has reached via the walk her last 3 at-bats as she now stands on second base, and Lopez looking to contribute in the 2 spots. Ball in the dirt. Lopez did have 2 hits in the loss to St. Joseph last week, as well as a home run against Stanford. So he's definitely accompanied to having the big hit in the big moment. Now looking to just get 1 and keep this train moving for Danbury. Called strike. Medeiros works back in the at-bat. Three balls and 2 strikes on Lopez. Ball 4 upstairs. Lopez works the walk, and the first 2 Danbury Hatters reach base successfully. And now it's first and second for the big bat of Chloe Tremendillis. It'll be interesting if we see a pitching change or not from Nick DeMeo. It looks like head coach DeMeo is going to leave his hurler out there. Again, up by 6, you have some room here, breathing room, if you will, to give up a couple runs and then have to worry about this game getting close. So one swing in the back can't tie this game. It could give Danbury a huge advantage of coming back, but they still need 6 runs at the end of the day, and the 3-hole hitter Tremendillis coming up. And again, she has hit home run after home run this season. A monsterful hitter in the Danbury order. And again, just a sophomore on this Danbury team. 1 for 3 on the day. The Wave have been able to get Tremendillis out via the flyout and the lineouts so far. No, it's coming to the left side. First one is a ball. Called strike. Medeiros works back in it. One ball, one strike. Medeiros looking to work. That one just bouncing. Good block from Fagno. Off speed, not getting the release point Medeiros was looking for. Two balls and one strike. Fly ball. In a right center. That's caught by the center fielder, McCloskey. Tagging is Lawler. And there's now runners on the corner with one out. And Darien, you're fine trading that runner to third for the out, especially getting the likes of Chloe Tremendillis out. Ground ball, shortstop, Volge to Lindell, and she will just eat it. 2 down. Good flip from Volge to Lindell, and there's 2 gone in this top of the 7th. Courtesy runner coming in for the Hatters. As it will be number 7, Natalie Jimenez, the sophomore, will pinch run for the pitcher, Maya Cefaloni. First pitch, and that's fouled. It was an RBI fielder's choice. Lawler came home to score for Danbury's 4th run of the game. And a Hatters team that has scored 3 or 4 runs a game. Ground ball right back to the shortstop. Volge on the second, and Lindell is there to finish it. Darien takes down Danbury by the final of 9-4. A game that the Darien offense got going early, did not look back, and they finish with a big win against the Hatters. Danbury tried to get back in it, but it was too late. They scored 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. But at that point, Darien ran away with it with a big 3rd and 4th inning. As you see the numbers there on your screen, a great game for this Darien offense coming to life in this contest. Looking at your final numbers in this one. Have them to you in a second. This is normally the time I would send a question to my color commentator while I calculate these, but in the meantime, you're just going to stick with us on the DAF Media Network. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you this live coverage of varsity girls softball. Darien takes down Danbury by the final of 9-4. And your final numbers for you. Danbury, 4 runs off 6 hits, 1 error. They left, 7 runners stranded. As for Darien, your victors, 9 runs off of 10 hits. No errors in the field, and the Wave left 5 runners stranded out in the field. Your winning pitcher, Malin Medeiros, going all 7 innings. Did give up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, and the 2 strikeouts. Her name, she's your winning pitcher. And then for Danbury, the loss goes to Maya Cefaloni, who pitched a great game for Danbury. 6 innings pitched, 10 hits, 9 runs, 8 of which were earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts against Cefaloni. And again, Darien's offense came to play today. The home run from Ofinger in the 4th inning. The 3rd inning, nearly batting around. The 4th inning, they did bat arounds. And that's what Darien used to propel themselves to this win over against the Danbury Hatters. Darien moves to 5-8 on the season, 5-4 in the conference. Danbury drops to 5-8 on the season, 2-6 in the conference. The Wave, they now shift their attention to this hot postseason race as they welcome in St. Joseph on Friday and New Canaan on Monday. And again, that game against New Canaan can be seen on the DAF Media Network. So once again, Darien takes down Danbury by the final of 9-4 on the DAF Media Network. I'm going to give one final shout out to our amazing production crew, bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. James Foresta, Rose McCarthy, and our DAF Media Advisor, Damian Andrews. So for our entire production crew, saying so long from the DHS Softball Field, I've been Braden Shank. Again, Darien, your victors by the final of 9-4 over the Danbury Hatters. Have a great night, everybody.